Welcome everybody to this week's Peaceful Eating weekly Q&A. I'm Vanya Fatidis from Peaceful Eating, where I help people around the world come to a place of peace and ease with food and their bodies. And each week I come here to answer questions that are submitted to me, and I'd love to answer yours too. Just go to my website, peacefuleating.co.uk, find the little tab on the menu that says Q&A videos, and you can submit an anonymous question to me there. This past week, that questionnaire or place to deposit your questions, I realized last night or this morning, is having some trouble. And anyway, it was just seems to have been a bit of a mess. So if you tried to submit a question and didn't manage to, I apologize. You can always use the contact form on the website to send me a question, or find me on social media. I do tend to check them most days. I'm trying to spend less time on social media. So today is a big day for you Americans. I am holding you in my heart and really wishing for a peaceful outcome of this election. And yeah, I just wish for peace and ease for all people and freedom. All right, so how are you all doing? It's quite tense out there, isn't it? We are facing here in the UK another actually England-wide lockdown. Wales and Scotland are already doing their own versions. They were doing it a bit sooner than we are. But from Thursday, our shops, non-essential shops, are going to be closed. And so I rushed out today because I needed to return a pair of walking shoes that have deteriorated. And I just thought, if I don't do it now, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do it. So, of course, lots of other people had the same idea, which is a bit ironic, isn't it? So that was that was my afternoon of kind of rushing around doing a few tasks. I also had to stop in at Helford's and get some screen wash for the car, and I was just thinking to myself, I wonder if that is considered to be an essential or a non-essential business. I think having things that antifreeze and such and things like that are pretty essential, but especially going into winter. But who am I to decide? I booked our dog into the groomer this week, and also again, was just wondering, is this an essential business? I think it's pretty essential. Plus, she works on her own. She doesn't actually, you can throw the lead over to her and she can catch it and take your dog into the salon. Anyway, we will see. Maybe I'll report next week on whether or not our dog made it to the dog groomers. All right. Well, what I want you to know is that I, by mistake, deleted the two questions that did manage to get through to my Q&A form, which is now fixed. So I've just got to figure it out from memory, try and remember what was asked. And I mean, I've got the basic gist, but I like to read people's questions because I just think it brings them to life a bit more. So I apologize this time for not being able to do that. So the first question that I got this week was asking about whether, what should one do about getting dressed and, doing your hair, doing your makeup and all of that, given that some of the suggestions that I make based on research really from Renee Engel, who wrote the book Beauty Sick. Highly recommend that book. I think it is a hidden gem and it's really brilliant. And by the way, I was interviewed on the Fat Girl podcast about this book, and we had a really great conversation. So you will find this podcast on my website under podcasts. And I think she did it in 2 episodes, so you can listen to it and learn about a lot of the research that Renee talks about in her book. But one of the things that I say from that book and from reading her work is that actually what we need to be doing in order to heal our body image is to spend less time thinking about our appearance, less time working on our appearance, less time in front of a mirror, um, just less time on our appearance altogether. And so the person who was asking the question was wanting to know, well, then, just like, so how do we then kind of get ourselves dressed and, wear makeup, don't wear makeup, do our hair, don't do our hair, what do we do? And it's such a great question, and it's really important because there isn't a black and white, it's just like do this and don't do this. I think the point is that if you are overly concerned about your appearance and you spend a long time fixing things in the mirror that you think need to be fixed or hidden or modified, um, improved upon, and you spend a lot of time and energy and effort either thinking about it or doing it and worrying about it, this is problematic, and you probably need to dial that down quite a lot. But look, we live in a world where, of course, how we look, our appearance, is a part of who we are. It's just that we make it a very big part of who we are. And that isn't healthy for us. So, of course, I mean, you can see I have had my hair cut. I don't know if you can see, but I think you might be able to see. I've had my hair cut fairly recently. Um, I, you know, I do blow dry my hair because if I don't, I don't like how it looks. Now, yes, I could wash my hair, comb it back, and literally just leave it and not care about how that presents or how it looks. I could do that, but it matters to me to present myself in a way that looks like I have taken some, I have paid some attention to what I'm wearing. Look, I'm wearing wearing earrings. Um, and if I was really not at all thinking about my appearance, I wouldn't wear earrings. I wouldn't have thought about, okay, there's a nice silver earrings. They will go with this gray jumper. Um, I would just have, I don't know, worn my pajamas or something. I mean, I know that that sounds black and white, but or just not had the earrings, and that would have been fine. It's absolutely, totally fine. I'm not saying wearing earrings is better or you should wear earrings. I'm not saying that, but for me, it it takes a very little amount of time and energy and effort to think about my appearance. And you might have noticed that I don't wear any makeup. Now, I don't have any problem with anybody wearing makeup. I really, really don't. And what I recommend to people is that you think about how much time, attention, and energy is this taking? Is that really okay with me? And what might it be costing me? Because if you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're trying to hide certain parts of yourself, you're trying to create optical illusions so that your nose looks less something or more of something else, or so that your eyes look less of one thing and more of something else. Then I think that you can be feeding your body image distress rather than relieving it and feeling better about yourself and in yourself. But as I said, I have no problem with people wearing makeup. If it makes you feel good, if it's a way that you express yourself, go ahead and do it. I'm not here to tell people they should or shouldn't do anything around how they present themselves. All I'm saying is inquire within yourself how much time, energy, and attention it's taking, and whether it's costing you anything. And really, if it's to try to fix anything, then this would be potentially feeding body image distress. So I don't know if that really answers the question. Hello, Leslie. It's so nice to know that somebody's there watching. Thank you for being there and thank you for saying hi. It's always hard to know. So I hope that that makes sense to whoever you are who sent in that question. And then I also got a question about breakfast. And again, I don't have the question right in front of me because I accidentally deleted them. But but it boils down to this: like, should I have breakfast? Is breakfast important? Because they're not hungry in the morning. This person, and what my response to that is often when we've been dieting for a long time, we've been overriding our hunger signals. Thinking it's good to be hungry, thinking if you're hungry, that's good because it means you're probably using up energy on your body. In other words, fat. So therefore hunger is good because it means you're burning up fat stores that you want to burn up. And with the dieting cycle also comes overeating, because when you restrict, on the one side you can keep it up for a period of time, but then you can't keep it up forever for biological and psychological reasons. And so then there's a swing to the other side where you might be overriding your fullness signals, and so then you kind of lose touch with hunger and fullness and where they are, and you only really know you're hungry when you're starving, and only really know you're full when you're stuffed. So um, what I often recommend to clients and people on my courses is that what can be really helpful is to have a pattern of regulated eating. So even if you're not hungry, you eat within an hour to sort of max 90 minutes or so of waking up, because and then what you try to do is have um, gaps no longer than 5 hours between meals. And if you need a snack, you have a snack in between. If you need to stretch it because of life that happens, then you make sure you have a snack so that you can stretch the time a little bit longer. But um, what regulated eating can do is really calm down the nervous system, and it can help you to become more nuanced in your ability to hear your hunger and your fullness signals. So sometimes I do recommend to people that they eat breakfast, but it really does depend on the person and what's going on for you. And so I would really need to talk to you and understand more to know whether I think that that might be a good next step for you. So you could try it and see what it's like. I don't really care so much about what is in the meals and snacks. I would always say eat whatever feels satisfying, eat what you want to have. It's more important in the beginning to have a regulated pattern, so your body knows that it can come to expect food at a certain time, and it feels. Have you ever sort of, you know, been in a sort of heightened state perhaps, and then um, you have there's some kind of a rhythm. Maybe it's music that has some kind of a rhythm, or you're breathing rhythmically. Rhythm can really help our nervous systems calm down. All over the placeness just triggers our sympathetic nervous system. Just encourages that stress response. So regulated eating can be really, really, really supportive. So those are the two questions that managed to make it to me this week. And that's all I have for you, unless any of you who happen to be watching live have a question for me. In the meantime, what I want you to know as well is that I am going to be running my Peaceful Eating Over the Holidays short course. It's a 5-week course that it helps you prepare for the holidays that are coming. I've run it for a couple of years. And, I was thinking about it the other day. I wasn't going to do it this year because I'm already running my bigger course over the holidays. And I just thought that's probably enough. But you know what? I was just thinking there's just been it's been such a crap year, and there are so many people who are struggling, and I'm concerned about people around Christmas as well, and how that's all going to go. I just don't know whether we are going to be able to celebrate with our families or not, um, or people who we, our friends, whatever, a sort of normal way of being together in the holidays, celebrations, get-togethers. Of course, it also those come with stresses too. I know it's not all milk and honey, but um, I decided I'm going to run this course because it could help some people, and I want to offer that. And the good news is I'm going to offer it as a pay what you can course. So it's my way of giving to people um, for Christmas or Hanukkah, whichever you celebrate, or any other kind of thing that you might celebrate, or just winter solstice, whatever. It's my way of gifting you with something, and I hope it helps. So I haven't opened registration yet, but you can go to my website and get on the waiting list so that you'll be the first to be notified when it opens for registration. All right, so that's all I have for you today, and take care, and lots of love, and be well. Bye for now.